Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Headbangers Closet. It's your pal Brett here. Appreciate everybody checking out the channel. This video, I want to give a shout out to Metal Marty Mac, good buddy of mine, fellow headbanger. Got an awesome collection, got a way cooler setup than I do. Super cool dude. Go check him out. I'll leave the link to his channel down below. You guys know I usually forget that, so I'm going to try my best not to do that and actually put it. But super cool guy. I've been watching his channel for a few months. He's got an awesome collection, way cooler looking setup than I've got. Always shows really cool stuff. But he did a video a few months ago, and he kind of talked about some Metal Blade Records reissues. Talked about a band called Intruder, really kick-ass thrash band. I'm a big fan of them, although I do not have any physical copies, so I'm not going to show any of that today. But I want to talk about Armoured Saint, because he showed his Armoured Saint first 3 records reissue on Metal Blade. I also have those I want to talk about today, but big Armoured Saint fan. He was telling stories about how he got into the band, and it kind of inspired me to do the same. I've been a fan for a long time, and ever since the first record, they had that video for Can You Deliver. Grew up kind of watching that video on MTV, and there was another channel that I had, a local channel, I think it was like a college station, Brown University out of Providence, that would play videos late at night. I don't know how they worked that out with MTV, but whatever. Thought the video was really cool. Thought the band in the first record's album cover was cool, so I got it on a cassette tape. But been a big fan of these guys for a long time, and they don't get the recognition they deserve. In fact, I'm really surprised they haven't blown up. They came out the early 80s, super cool heavy metal, traditional heavy metal style, kind of like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, stuff like that. Not quite thrash, what Metallica was doing, although I'm fairly certain the guys all knew each other. In fact, John Bush was asked to sing in Metallica. If you look behind me, I got the Metallica 30th anniversary show posters. I was at 2 of those 4 shows and saw them open for Metallica. They sounded really good, and if I'm not mistaken, it was the first time they had gotten together and played in quite a while. Yeah, later on that night, John Bush came up and sang Four Horsemen with Metallica, so you kind of could see how great of a vocalist he is and how awesome he would have been in Metallica, which is why they had asked him to join the band way back in the day. But Armoured Saint was kind of just taking off, and he wanted to stay with them, so I can respect that, But the first 3 records, they were re-released on Metal Blade, colored vinyl, some different variants. I picked them up. Big fan of the band, like I said. So let's kind of get into it. Armoured Saint wasn't really that glam band. They weren't really that thrash band. They were kind of just the traditional heavy metal in between. And you can really hear it in the music. The guitar tone's really cool. And obviously John Bush's vocals just can catapult any band to that next level because he's so talented. But you can kind of close your eyes and somewhat kind of catch a glimpse of, the riffs and maybe something that George Lynch from Dawkins might come up with. So it's that good kind of midway point between the glam and the heavier stuff that I think a lot of people gravitated towards. But like I said, I don't know why they didn't blow up more than it did. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you these 3 records and then a couple other records I just want to show you guys. So this is the debut, March of the Saint, came out in 1984, Metal Blade Records reissue. You can see the guys right there on the motorcycles, kind of looking, just like the music, that cross between the glam and the heavier thrashy stuff. But great album. You guys all know the tunes. March of the Saint, Can You Deliver? Mutiny on the World's a great song. Madhouse is an awesome song. Take a Turn's a great song. Just good stuff overall. Another picture of the guys on their motorcycles. Some notes about the band right here. And then you can check out the lyrics and then the little picture right there. I mean, come on. Damn phone glare, which sucks. But you can kind of see they look a little on the glam side, Look a little bit heavier version of Rat. Cool looking blue record right here. March of the Saint. For the most part, Armoured Saint always has some cool looking album artwork. And when I saw this one, I actually saw the cassette tape. I think it was before I saw the video. Maybe it wasn't. Hell, that was 1984. I was just, like 7 years old. But I really liked that album cover. Very Dungeons and Dragons-esque, if you ask me, which I was playing quite heavily in the 80s. So I really dug that. So I picked it up on cassette, liked it. And obviously been a fan this whole time. And when Metal Blade released these, I had to snag them. So the next record, released the next year in 1985, is Delirious Nomad. Not as cool album cover, if you ask me. but I think a little bit better of a record. I mean, this thing's awesome. You've got Long Before I Die, Nervous Man, which is a super cool song. Over the Edge is great. The Laugh is cool. Now I'm laughing at you. Conqueror's awesome. But my favorite song on the record is For the Sake of Heaviness. Just this really cool riff. Aftermath is cool. In a Hole, You're Never Alone. The whole album's awesome. I think they took what they did on March of the Saint, just made it a little bit better. Picture of the dudes in the band. Some lyrics. More artwork. And this is on kind of like a light translucent sort of yellow record. Pretty cool looking. All the colored vinyls kind of sort of go along a little bit, at least, with the colors on the album cover artwork. So I like this one a little bit better than March of the Saint, a little bit heavier. They got a little bit better playing and songwriting. But my favorite record, and it's the last one I've got in Metal Blade Reissue, is the third record. Came out in '87 after some lineup changes. This one's Raising Fear. Really cool artwork again, kind of a little bit Dungeons and Dragons, you know, looking. And then you can see there's only 4 guys now in the band. But I think this is one a little better. It's a little bit kind of heavy, just like the last one, but I just think it's a little bit better than the other 2 releases, in my opinion. And it has my all-time favorite Armoured Saint tune on it, which is Chemical Euphoria. Picture of the guys in the band. You can kind of see how, like, you know, the look they have is evolving a little bit. They're looking more kind of like, you know, early Megadeth there, especially that dude. They looks like David Ellefson a little bit, but, you know, a little bit less glam than the first record. This one comes in a pretty kick-ass Metal Blade sleeve, which I like. The other 2 did not come in that sleeve. And this is on like a translucent looking orange. Pretty sharp right there. So this album has a cover of Leonard Skinner's Saturday Night Fever, which, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Leonard Skinner fan. You know, I mean, I don't dislike them. I'll listen to them if they're on the radio, but I don't go seek them out. But man, this version of Saturday Night Special is awesome. But Raising Fear is a great tune. Then the second song is Saturday Night Special, which is really cool. Out on a Limb is awesome. Really cool guitar work. Isolation's a cool song. Like I said, my favorite tune from Armoured Saint is Chemical Euphoria. Just phenomenal tune. Human Vulture's cool. Book of Blood. I like Underdogs. Just great record overall. Really dig this one. It's my favorite Armoured Saint album of all time. Now, those are the only 3 Armoured Saint records I actually own. I've got some of the later versions on CD. Don't like them as much, but this latest record is really cool. I got to pick it up. Go check it out if you get a chance. But that's my Armoured Saint collection. Really cool band. They deserve a lot more credit than they get. They're just such a great band. Check them out if you haven't done so already. Real quick, I'm just going to show you a couple other records I recently got in. This is a band called Living Death. They're from Germany, early 80s speed thrash metal. Not very produced. You can check out the photo of the guys right there. Not very produced. It's just got that really early 80s raw sound, which I kind of like. Sounds like the first Slayer record. A little bit of black metal, in my opinion, with the vocals. This is on pink vinyl. Picked this up on Hell's Headbangers website. If you don't know Hell's Headbangers, dude, check it out. They've got so many, you know, lesser known bands like vinyl, CD, DVDs, merch, all sorts of stuff. And they do a lot of reissues. This was one of them. Came with a pretty cool poster. I don't know too much about this band other than they're from Germany. They got a handful of records. And this is the only one I own. Like I said, it's a reissue. You can check them out on a streaming service, see if you dig them, and then pick up the record. But really cool, just early 80s thrash metal type of sound and stuff from Europe. And like I said, Hell's Headbangers is awesome. They've got tons and tons of stuff, a lot of lesser-known bands. They do a lot of just U.S. distribution for some of those European record labels, like Redefining Darkness and, oh God, there's another one, it's like Black Something Records. Anyway, they do a lot of their U.S. distribution so that you can get a lot of smaller bands merch on there, a lot of records. And also they do a lot of reissues and a lot of bootlegs. Got a couple of Metallica bootlegs on vinyl from that site as well. Super fast shipping. They do updates every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I always check them out. They'll email you that, but I check them out online for the updates. Another band with a D&D themed cover, which the BBQtioner from Chromium Dockside Radio, and then another guy did a video of like, what's the best D&D themed album covers. I think this one should be up there. But Just like Living Death, I don't know too much about this band. In fact, I know even less. And to be honest with you, when I was researching this band for this video, I didn't really try all that hard. But Scavenger, album's Battlefields, came out in 1984, just like Living Death's Vengeance of Hell came out in 1984. This is more like power metal, early 80s power metal, kind of like in the style of Manowar. But pretty cool. It was on my suggested albums or bands on Spotify, and I listened to it. It sounded cool. I liked it. I'm a big Manowar fan, so this was also cool. Cool enough that I decided to buy the record for $30. So, I mean, for me, that says a lot. So, go check them out. They're a cool band. Scavenger, Battlefields. Like I said, just kind of that early 80s heavy metal, power metal feel to it. Not as cheesy as Manowar, but, you know, definitely in that same kind of sounding, stuff right there. So, next record, only got 2 left. It's my all-time favorite doom metal album. Kind of very Black Sabbathy with the guitar riffs. It's called Hour of 13. The album is 333. These dudes are from South Carolina. Tons of lineup changes. The guitar player is the main guy in the band, and he's done... there's only 2 records with the singer that's on this record, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he just did the very first Summerlands record. So if you know who Summerlands is, the first one, that is the vocalist. But really cool stuff. Very heavy, very satanic, anti-religious themes to the songs, but really great guitars. I mean, the guitars drive this record. You got songs like Deny the Cross, The Burning, and Rites of Samhain, just chock full of great, heavy, doomy metal riffs with killer leads, very melodic leads, and awesome face-melting fast guitar solos. Who's to Blame is one of those songs that has just a killer guitar solo. There's a video for it on YouTube, so check it out. Hour of 13, Who's to Blame. The last 2 songs on the record, Sea of Trees and Lucky Bones, just awesome, longer song, very melodic outro solos. Just really cool doom metal right there. It's awesome. And this is not the cover from the CD that I have. This is a gatefold from Europe. The actual cover of the CD is that picture right there. So kind of like it better than this cover. But picked this up not too long ago. It's on purple. Really cool looking label right there. Check it out. If you dig doom metal, I mean, hell, even just heavy metal, the riffs alone, you'll like it. Just give it a listen. You can find them on streaming services and on YouTube as well. Hour of 13, the album is 333. Like I said, the lead singer kind of drives the band. I mean, not the lead singer, the guitarist kind of drives the band. And he put something out recently, but I'll be honest, it doesn't sound as good. So the last album I want to talk about, and it's a band I really want all you guys to check out, is Mortal Vision from the Ukraine. This album came out in 2021, but it just came out on vinyl. So if I had it back in 2021, it would have been my top album from 2021 when I did my 2021 album review, best albums of, in my opinion. This would have made the cut. Mind Manipulation, it's just amazing thrash metal, very much like Sepultura, the good Sepultura, the Beneath the Remains and Arise Sepultura. These guys obviously are huge fans of that band, and it sounds a lot like it. Like I said, from Ukraine, and the album came out in 2021, so the album cover artwork is kind of foreshadowing, I guess, what was to come, unfortunately, with the whole thing with Russia. Young dudes, cool guys. They're on Redefining Darkness Records. A lot of cool, good European bands on that record label. And just like the Living Death record, I picked this up on the Bandcamp page, but Hell's Headbangers sent the Redefining Records for U.S. distribution. So cool looking blue vinyl right there. Really awesome, just heavy, thrashy stuff. Like I said, sounds a lot like good Sepultura, Beneath the Remains, and Arise version. So if you like Sepultura, you're definitely going to like these guys. And it's not a blatant ripoff. They kind of put their own spin on it, but you can really tell they're influenced by that type of thrash metal. So check it out. Mortal Vision, Mind Manipulation is a phenomenal record. And if you can go to their Bandcamp page and Redefining Darkness Records and pick up some t-shirts, which proceeds will go to the Ukrainian refugees, which is pretty cool. So check them out. And that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you think about that Armoured Saint collection? And what do you think about Armoured Saint? Leave me a comment down below. If you want to talk and discuss about any of these bands or records, leave me a comment down below. I love talking about this stuff. And hit the like and subscribe if you don't mind. Go find me on Instagram, Headbangers Closet. I post something pretty much every day. And yeah, looking forward to getting back to the swing of things, making videos. I'll have another one for you guys very soon. As always, cheers.